Hi everyone, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you to this course. This is the second time we're teaching this course, Meta-Analysis 101. It's actually a course in systematic reviews and meta-analysis, and we're excited to have you join this course this time around. The course is intended to help health workers and data analysts to engage better with systematic reviews and meta-analysis in the medical literature. It introduces you to sort of the key elements and analysis approaches for meta-analysis. It doesn't go into like extreme detail into how you would write the review, but we will give you most of the things that you would need to be able to do it. And we will also, through the course project, help you complete one meta-analysis project, or at least help you advance it to almost be done with it. This is a hybrid course. So we have self-paced recorded sessions and then live sessions. So we have already recorded lectures for you that we expect that you would watch on your own time. And we also then have live sessions where we will have you come together with us to ask questions that you might have, review material, and then walk through software. So this is where we're going to introduce our SPSS and Redman, how to do meta-analysis and each of these different software. So that means that we're going to have multiple iterations of the same material. First of all, you're going to watch it recorded, and then depending on which software you then choose to do, we're going to be able to do it in R and then go through it in SPSS and then Revman. So we hope that by the time this is done, we will have a solid understanding of the most important aspects of meta-analysis. And then if you want to learn some more, you'll be able to take it forward yourself. So that's sort of the ground game that we're hoping to, the strategy we're hoping to take for this course. So like I mentioned, it would include recorded lectures, review sessions, workshops, a group project, homework. We might have optional. One of those homework will be a baseline quiz. We would also have an end of course quiz, and then we would also have optional office hours for people who may have questions. So every week we'll set aside some time where if you have questions, you can come in. This will be one-on-one, and this is separate from the time that we'll have together in class. So if you have questions, you'll be able to reach out and ask those questions. We expect that for you to be eligible, that you will be proficient in introductory statistics and epidemiology, and we expect you to have taken our Stats 101, Epi 101 courses in the past. And so if you have not, we sent you a pre-test to help us assess the extent to which you'll be able to be comfortable with the material, right? And so many of you are here because you indeed passed at least one or two pre-tests or have done at least one of our Stats 101 or Epi 101 courses. As far as the course completion certificates are concerned, we'll issue those to those who turn in the group project and receive a positive peer evaluation. So that means that if you're not contributing to the group project and your group members do not give you a positive evaluation, then we're not going to be able to give you a course completion certificate. Really, the purpose is to make sure that you're able to spend some time outside of class on your own time, depending on the time that you all agree in your groups to meet together and work together. So one of the things I would ask you to do early on is to come together as a group around topics that you might be interested in. Preferably people that are not too far away from you in terms of geographic regions. The time zones are not a challenge. Again, remember, this is a global course. We have so many people from all over the world joining. So we'll want you to form groups among yourselves and choose a topic and work on a project, and we will help support you during the course of the course. So this course will be delivered over 2 months, and the live sessions will be during the weekends on Saturdays and Sundays, and we'll show you a schedule in a moment. The class will be delivered using Google Classroom, and we have found Google Classroom to be very good for us to distribute material to the class. In at least one of our previous courses, we used Google Classroom and it worked okay. One thing that we're hoping to introduce in this class, in addition, will be polls, right? We experimented with it in our previous class, but we want to take it even further this time around so that we can have some engagement outside of class. So maybe every day or every other day, we'll send out a poll. We expect you to respond as quickly as you can. We might leave it on for a few hours and then we'll respond to the questions. Okay, so this gives you an opportunity to assess how much you're already learning in the class. And if at any point in time you're struggling with the material from the class, then please reach out to us and we will try our best to find some time together to help you go through what might be the challenge. But you also have opportunities during the workshops, the live sessions, and as we'll go through again in a moment. So like I mentioned, for you to be eligible to the class, you had to have taken one of our Stats 101 or EP 101 courses in the past or completed a pre-test. It's possible that, you might have taken the course in the past or you might have completed a pre-test, but you still feel like you need to brush up on some material. We can give you access to the material from those classes to help you review. Okay. We don't want you to sign up for a course if you're not going to be able to spend enough time on it. But it might be helpful for you to quickly get up to speed in R or in SPSS, before the lectures or the live workshops during which we'll have to use the software. So if you're interested, look out for the information. We'll send out information on how to access those materials in the next several days. We have a very large and diverse group of participants. This map is from previous classes. In this particular class, we have an even larger and more diverse group of participants, and so the reason why we show this map is for you to know that we're trying to factor in a lot of different, issues and time zones and cultures, so it is important for us to bear that in mind as we ask questions and be respectful and to understand that when people are coming together from different places, some of what makes sense to you might not make sense to them, so don't make assumptions about, be clear when you ask questions about what you really mean and respectful to all your colleagues. Thank you. So for the proposed for the recorded lectures, we have recorded 10 lectures, okay, and those 10 lectures will cover pretty much everything that we want to teach you, right? The theory behind them, the concepts, and we expect you to watch those lectures before certain periods. So we have some deadlines that we have set, and these are the deadlines that we have set. Some of them we say two lectures in 1 week. Sometimes we say three. Depending on what we think uh, we expect it to have known by then. But then there's also times when we slow it down. So if you see in the first few weeks, we go very quickly. In that period, a lot of what we're teaching is just review material, it's theoretical concepts, it's just workings of how to do stuff. And then we then go into the second half where we start to teach you a little bit of the stats behind the meta-analysis. So how do you synthesize the data? Then we slow it down at that point, So this is also the time when we will begin to introduce these concepts in the workshop. So we're trying to synchronize the learning as best as possible so you're going through the materials around the same time and reviewing. So these deadlines, these dates are deadlines by which we expect you to have watched the recordings for the lectures. Please bear that in mind as you plan your schedule so that you can make it happen. The lectures are recorded, are going to be on YouTube. We'll share the link via Google Classroom, and you'll be able to watch them over and over again. Many of these lectures are not long. I think the longest of them is less than an hour long. So we hope that you will take the opportunity of having the recorded lecture to go through the material again and again and just to hone it, and then bring questions that you might have. We have a schedule for live workshops. So as you can see, this is a very busy 2 months that we're asking that you dedicate to this class, right? This is the schedule for live workshops, and it's on Saturdays and Sundays during the month of January and February, right? As far as the timing of the live workshops are concerned, I'll show that in a moment. But these are the dates when we hope to have live workshops take place. So beginning on the 15th, So before the 15th, we are hoping that you can take that time to watch recordings as much as possible and move quickly. So we don't have any live workshops. But on the 15th of January, we want to have an early review. This is when, if you have things that are not clear to you from everything that we expect you to have watched by then, you bring it to that class. We would also, so we'll teach it again. And hopefully if you have any questions, we can catch them at that point before we then start doing hands-on software, hands-on analysis in software. Okay. And we have lined up research experts who will be able to help you go through this material. And then on the last day of the class, which is on the 26th, we will want to take presentations. They will be very short, but that will be an opportunity for you to just tell us what you have learned about the class, and it present the project that you're working on. What are the things that you've learned from them? Where is it going, right? We don't anticipate that you will complete the meta-analysis in the 2 months, but we hope that you will be advanced enough that you won't need a lot of extra work to get it to submit so that you can actually publish the papers. This is what we're hoping. We're hoping that as many as 20 papers can be published from this class this year. This is the deadline that we have set for ourselves, and I'm hoping this is the target. I'm hoping that we would actually achieve it, that you will help us and help yourselves, achieve this project, this deadline. So in terms of the timing of the live workshops, like I mentioned, because this is a global class, we have people from all over the world, but we want to have live workshops. So this is the time when the live workshops are going to happen. For many people, these live workshops are going to be during the day. For some people, it will be at night. Um, but we hope that you'll be able to plan your schedule around these and make it happen as best as you can. For the bulk of the class, a lot of the participants in the class are from East, West, and Southern Africa. So we have um, time the live sessions for these people to be during the day. Okay. And then for people who are joining in Asia, it will be in the early evenings, late evenings, and we're hoping that people will be able to join and benefit. But if you want to ask questions outside of the times of these live workshops, we can also set some time to chat together, maybe during office hours. I talked about the class project. The class project is the key output for this class, and we are hoping that you will complete the project. Much of it you'll complete during the class, and then take it forward after the class. So we have we have set some deadlines to help you move this project forward. And the first thing will be to form groups. So on the 14th of January 2023, we are hoping that you would have formed groups and selected a topic. So that's a very ambitious deadline that we have for you in 2 weeks from when the class starts. So we hope that you will form groups and choose a topic, and we will show you in Google Classroom how you will do that. And then the other thing that we want you to be able to do is to then present your systematic search strategy and go through the rest of these 4 fundamental aspects of the meta-analysis project. And really, by the time you have your table 1, the analysis and everything else is going to be easy for you to complete. But the submission of these deliverables, we expect that you will do them in Google Classroom as well. So practically all statistical software can be used for meta-analysis, right? And there are also some software that are specifically made for meta-analysis. But for the purpose of this project, we're going to teach in R, SPSS, and RevMax. This is already a very ambitious plan for us to teach in 3 software, but we believe that this gives the most flexibility to the class, right? And we'll give you in a moment, we'll tell you in a moment why we're trying to do it. We're trying to teach 3 software rather than just choose one and just go with it. So the reason we're trying to teach 3 software is because each of those 3 software have their own unique features and characteristics. So SPSS is very widely available in many developing countries, all over the world actually, but in a lot of the social science, people use SPSS because it's point and click. It's easy to learn. When I learned SPSS, somebody sat me down in 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes, and just showed it to me. So if you can use Microsoft Word, you can use SPSS. So there's not much struggle to get into it. Revman is deliberately is a purpose-built software for meta-analysis. It was made by the Cochrane Group. And it's also a lot of point and click, where it requires a little bit of, just showing the tricks. Um, but even then, it is still, because it's point and click, you can figure it out, and it's easy. So that's why we want to teach those. But the challenge with those two software is that they're not reproducible. Every time you want to you want to every time you want to improve upon your work, you have to do much of the work all over again. Unlike if you're using something like R that is code based, where you write the code and that code is there, you can come back to it in 100 years time and you can just run that code again and it'll give you the exact same output on the same data, right? So, and once you write the code, you can move it from project to project with tweaks here and there. So R makes it's very reproducible and it's very efficient. So that's why we want to teach you R. It's also free, so if you don't have familiarity with it, we recommend reviewing Stats 101 course has a considerable amount of introduction to R. So we recommend that you review that. But there's also a bunch of other material online that can help you get into R. We will not be helping you with R in the class. We are setting aside and a specific hour office hours that you can go to if you have our questions, but we will not be reviewing our code or helping you install our within the few minutes that we have for the live session. So please bear this in mind. So by the time you come to the class, your hour should be set up. You should already know how to run coding hour, and we'll just be going straight into meta-analysis. So we've created data sets for this course. They are simulated data sets, fake data set basically, that we created just to be able to teach you certain concept, right? But we'll use multiple examples from real studies to supplement as appropriate. This is the team that's bringing the Meta-Analysis 101 to you. My name is Ibrahim Abiri. I'm a medical director at Genentech, and I'm a researcher at Harvard as well. Then there's Ebua Igosage, is also an asset director at Merck, is an health economics and outcomes research expert, and is an adjunct faculty at Tufts. Then there is Dr. Mashuda Montaro as well, who is director of research at Center for Palliative Health, is also an adjunct faculty on Buffalo. Dr. Barnley Bangbe is a lecturer at Boston University. Temitayo Kusanya is a PhD student in Wisconsin. Aminu Abakar is a pharmacist who has taken Stats 101 classes in the past and is one of the excellent people that we've had the opportunity to work with. And now he's going to help teach you meta-analysis and SPSS. The same thing with Dr. Ayadero, who is also, a medical doctor in the NHS and who has also been one of the people who encouraged us, and helped support us, and also a participant in our previous Stats 101 classes, and now also going to be able to help teach you meta-analysis and SPSS. So we're excited to have this team together to bring you meta-analysis 101. But this is not everybody that works in stats training, right? We have an extended team of other people who are also PhDs, who are, doctors, people of all sorts of training, public health, working all over the world, and who are also helping to support different aspects or teaching other courses. So one of the elements of this course is that as we're teaching meta-analysis 101, we have this stream of people who enrolled into meta-analysis 101, who wanted to enroll, but we thought are not eligible. So we're encouraging them to go to EPI 101 and Stats 101. And some of the members of this team will help us support those people so that later on they can come back and take the meta-analysis 101. And this is the framework we're hoping to use, for the rest of our courses. People need to be eligible in the prior course to participate in the next one, and we'll help them become eligible. So everybody on this team doing excellent work to be able to bring you this course, and we're excited for the time that they're volunteering to work on these projects. we are thankful to, the people who have taught us this materials ourselves, and people who have written textbooks that we have depended upon, and a lot of online materials as well that we have also depended upon to be able to bring you this course. If you have any questions at any point in time, don't forget to reach out, and we will we'll let you know when we'll be able to meet with you and all that. So thank you very much. So I'm just going to show you Google Classroom very quickly, uh, and just to help you get a feel for the expectations for how you're going to go about Google Classroom for your projects and for your work. So I just wanted to show you, how you will access Google Classroom. So first of all, we have sent you a baseline assessment, baseline quiz for you to fill. That baseline quiz will help us to assess where you currently stand as far as your understanding of meta-analysis is concerned. This is important because it then allows us to see where you improve up to at the end of the class, right? These two elements are part of the evaluation of this project, and it will help us to redesign our class, learn what we're doing well, what we're not doing well, and figure out how we can improve upon it. We can learn from the class, basically from seeing how much improvement that you have. So for you to then join the class, once you fill the baseline assessment or the baseline quiz, the first thing that you will then, the final thing that you will get at the landing page for the baseline quiz once you submit is you will get a link to join the Google Classroom. Please pay attention to this. So that link to join the Google Classroom, once you click it, it will bring you to a page that looks like this in your Google Classroom at gmail.com. So that's why we said it's important for you to join the class using a Gmail account that ends in at Gmail, right? So once you have the meta-analysis 101 class in your Google Classroom like this, if you click this, you will see a stream that just tells you when what was posted to the class. You don't have to bother your head about that. You go to classwork. Now, in classwork, you will see an interface that looks like this. So this interface there's multiple topics. The first one is the class project. We have put it up there to highlight to you that this is important. But then there's also the rationale and principles, planning the review, preparing your data, assessing bias. So each topic, we expect you to click it, watch the recording, and look at the slide. So if you click the recording, it will open in YouTube. Okay. So if you can watch that, or if you close, you can open in PDF and look at the slides. You can do both at the same time, depending on what works for you, right? So this is the same slides that the lecturer in the recording went through. Okay, so that's how we're going to share the material for each one. And in your classwork, you will find these topics. So we expect you to go through on your own, read the material, watch the recordings, and then come back, note the questions that you have that remain unanswered, and then bring them to the workshops, and we'll be able to answer them for you. Okay, so that's how it's going to work. So there's like 10 topics, like I mentioned. Each topic has a class recording, a class recording and the slides. In this particular lecture topic, assessing bias and study quality, we have two topics, actually two subtopics. So we first of all tell you what bias and study quality is, and we talk about how you can actually implement it. So that's why you have two topics here, and each of them has slide deck and a recording. Okay, so all the way to dose response meta-analysis. And we would also have an end of course set of projects that you will be able to see when the time comes. So in terms of, for each of these, there are also tasks that we expect you to do. So for instance, the topic selection from meta-analysis, it's already assigned. There's no recording here. This is a task that we expect you to complete. So if you click this, there's a Google Sheet that will open. In that Google Sheet, we expect you to write in your name under the name of, you choose a topic, either you write in a new topic that you want to work on, or if there's someone who has already proposed a topic, then we want you to write your name as a member if you want to join that team. We have created slots for up to 5 people for each team, but no more than that. If a team wants to have more than 5, you have to reach out to us and make a case. But we want you to propose topics depending on what you're familiar with, what projects you're already working on, what research questions you have, and to think about those topics based on what you learn in the class. So we want you to quickly get into the material because there's a guidance to how do you select the topic from the first few lectures of the class, so we want you to go through those materials, select the topic, and quickly start getting into the project. And if you have questions or challenges as you're selecting a topic, please reach out to us at any point in time, and we're happy to help. Again, we're going to manage the class through Google Classroom, and we will post polls. We'll post polls and quizzes. Those polls will appear in stream, and they will come to your email. Every time we post them, you get an email telling you, well, there's a question, and we hope that you will respond to them as quickly as possible, and then we can have a conversation. And we can have that conversation here in Google Classroom, that can keep everybody engaged. We can learn. So we're going to be able to deploy multiple strategies to learn, including, texting via polls, including watching videos, slides, live workshops, so using software, the project. So multiple different approaches. And we hope that using all those approaches, you'll be able to actually learn meta-analysis by the time you're done with 8 weeks, or it's 9 weeks, you'll be done, and you'll have a solid understanding of this project, be able to take it forward for your own good. Okay. If you have any questions at any point in time, please reach out to us at courses@startclinic or to startclinic@gmail.com, the same emails I've been reaching out to you with. Thank you very much. Looking forward to speaking with you some more in class.